Today has been one of the most disheartening days I've had in a while because I've been looking around and everywhere I turn today, there's again reminders that it seems like the club want to keep Arna on for next season. So you had Jamie Carragher on Monday Night Football talking about what he's hearing. You had David Ornstein talking about what he's hearing. And of course, you've had other people say over the past week that it looks as if the club want to keep Arna for next season. So what I did today was to reach out to people and ask, what are you hearing? I reached out to people from all different walks of life. I reached out to journalists. I reached out to a couple of content creators. I reached out to season ticket holders that I know. I reached out to people that go to games occasionally. And I asked them all the same question. Of your group of friends, of the people in and around you in that stadium, do you feel the support for the manager there? Is this just me in my little bubble, not really seeing the support for Arna and closing myself off to it? Or am I reading this right and are people feeling the same as I am? And without a doubt, every one of them came back and said, whilst they fear he might be here next year, nobody they know is behind him. Nobody they know has this belief. So the question that I'm kind of asking at the moment is, where's the split in the fan base that apparently exists? Because I don't know anybody on the other side of this. There are a couple of people that think a rebuild, because they've been sucked into that, a rebuild takes a little bit longer and maybe give them a chance with it. But even those people are talking about September, October, November of next year likely see them fired. So I guess the question I want to have tonight is, where are we at with all of this? Because the people that I spoke to, whose opinions that I would value and have been right on information in the past, they said a couple of different things to me along the lines of, well, Liverpool have talked to other coaches, that Arna's representatives have talked to other clubs. So I don't know if this is real brinksmanship from the club, keeping the cards close to their chest and trying to make sure we get Champions League football, or if they really are as removed from this as we think they are in their thinking and they are just going to go in with slot next season. I don't know the answer to it. But it's look, there are arguments for and against. Some people will say that this is the usual suspect saying what they're told to say. Others will say that this is just the company line. Others will point to the fact that they've said this in the past and gone and sacked Brendan Rodgers, let's say. So that's where we're at with the manager, in that, look, you've seen the Sky Sports piece. You heard what Jamie Carragher had to say. But they're all being briefed by the same people. So I guess the question I have tonight is more around FSG than anything else. I feel like they've checked out at this point because it's hard to really think about this being them wanting things to be put right. It feels as if they just don't want the hassle. And if we get Champions League football, they'll just let it run, come what may. But I've no excitement left in me. At this moment in time, as a Liverpool fan, I'm absolutely flat. I'm flat, not fat, that as well, but flat. I've got no goodwill, no optimism, and no hope for going into next season. I'm already saying this, and I mean this sincerely, and this is all I can really do. Because I can't sit here and say, we want this, we have to do this. I can only talk from my perspective. For me, if he's here next year, I'm not going to spend a cent. I'm not going to spend a penny on all red membership. I'm not going to buy a single Liverpool jersey. I'm not going to buy another Adidas Liverpool top. I'm not going to spend a goddamn penny until the club take things seriously. I know, it sounds petty, it sounds petulant. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else I have to give. Because there's no good me coming on and arguing every night and being moany about it. I can't change it, but I can change my own habits. And that's all I can say to you at this point is, you know my love affair with Adidas. You know how happy I was when Adidas came back to Liverpool. I'm not giving them another fucking cent if this manager is going to be in charge next season, because I'm half checked out already and I'm already starting to make semi-alternative plans for my time for next season because I can't go through this again. And I don't think I'm on my own. It's egregious that we've gotten to this point, that the people are just so deflated already. So yeah, look, that's where I'm at, but enough about me. Let's see you guys have your say. Corbin said, hope you're well, mate, best around. On a personal level, dude, I'm not too bad, you know? I'm not too bad. Look, as a fan, the fan part of me, look, if I didn't make content, I probably would check out for next season to some extent. Like, I'd check in on the scores. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch the games, but, I'd keep up to date. But, being in this job, and it is a job as well as obviously a passion project, if you remove the passion from it, it starts to feel like work. And it's never felt like work to me to come on here and talk about Liverpool with you guys, because I love it. But I've got nothing left in me. I've got no positives. I've got no optimism left. I'm devoid of it at this moment in time, and I keep hoping I rediscover it. But it's been tough going. It's a heavy season for us. Leek said, it's not Craig. I used to go twice a year to see Liverpool, but I said earlier, I'm not excited. I'm not wasting any money anymore if slots here. And that's it for me as well. Because that's all we can do, is speak with our wallets and our eyes. We don't really have anything else. We've got a platform. We can talk about it here. We can all share our views and opinions. But ultimately, the only way that we can have any type of an impact is with our feet and with our wallets. And that's all I can do. And say, I'm not contributing another damn penny until the clubs start taking football seriously. Because that's how bad it is right now. It's so sad to think about where we've come from one season to this. Simple. No contract on the table. Xabi is not linked elsewhere. They are simply trying to steady the ship until the summer. I'd bet my house he goes. So, a couple of people I spoke to today feel the very same as you. And these are people whose opinions I would hold dear. And I would certainly say have a lot of credit in the bank with me from stuff in the past. And they think the same as you. But I guess what we don't know is which one's true. Because a lot of people are going to look very stupid if Arne Slot gets fired, including the club. And journalists who've been saying over and over and over again that that he's going to be here. If he's gone, I think there's going to be a lot of egg and a lot of faces. But if he's here, I'm more concerned about that because I think there's going to be a lot of disillusion and disheartened Liverpool fans. Now, on the situation, let me just read out a couple of things to you. So this is what we've seen basically in the media today around the managerial stuff. So we David Ornstein, who said Liverpool, the ownership there, ideally want to stick with Arne Slot despite huge public conjecture over if he's the man to lead them forward. The only name people seem to come up with is Alonso, but suggestions are that he's not on Liverpool's radar. Then you had Sky Sports News saying Arne Slot is set to retain the support of the hierarchy ahead of a summer in which more work is expected to be done to the squad following the announcement of Mohamed Salah leaving. RB Leipzig Jan Diamonde is among the top targets for a new forward, while several other positions are also being looked at. Also, Sky Sports News, they say Slot's expected to continue next season. So you add into that, and then you've got comments from Arne Slot. And these comments from Arne Slot are ones that I'm not really sure how to interpret. I don't know if he's been philosophical or if he's looking at the end of his cycle, but this is what he had to say. I hope and I assume that if I leave, and whenever that might be, people remember me for the fact that we won the league in my time over here, but that I also played a big part in creating a new cycle. Now, that could just be a bit of philosophical talk from Arne, or it could be him sort of admitting that he thinks he's gone. And I wouldn't dare hazard a guess because I don't know what his intentions were with that and why he said what he said. But I can answer it for him. Of course he'll get the credit for the league title. Of course he will. He's a Liverpool title winning manager. No argument there. But the creating the new cycle part, that I struggle to give him credit for, to be honest with you, because even if we're saying yes, well, he did make the signings, did he? We know that the signings were done by Hughes and Edwards and the recruitment team. And yes, he would have had an input into that. But I don't want to give him credit for a cycle that really hasn't come to fruition yet or hasn't seen much positives from. So on that with him, I would disagree.